Hey guys, Stay Patient here, and it's that time of month again. We've had March's PS Plus freebies announced, and here is the lineup. We've got Disc Jam and Tearaway Unfolded on PS4, Under Night in Birth, and Earth Defense Force 2025 on PS3, and then Lumo for the Vita as well as Severed. Now we're going to be taking a look at the trophies and pointing out any sort of highlights. So I've got some pages open here, some relevant links. We are actually going to take a look at the trailer for Disc Jam because it looks kind of interesting. It's been sort of touted as... let's have a look. Let's go back to... It's been touted as the next Rocket League. And you can see why. It's very much a multiplayer-based game. There aren't any trophies announced for it yet. Obviously, there will be some because every game has trophies. But I think it's been in beta recently. It's ended now, so you've lost your chance to try it out if you were hoping to. But, I mean, it's going to be free, so obviously you're going to be able to play it. But if you do play it now, it will add the trophies to your trophy collection. So I'm afraid I'm not really going to be able to give you any idea as to how difficult it's likely to be because they literally haven't announced what the trophies are going to be yet. But the game itself does look like a laugh. I'm guessing it's up to 4 players. I don't think it goes any higher than that. I don't see anything with, more than 4 on the actual trailer itself. But you can kind of see why they're likening it to Rocket League. They've seen the success of that game. It's quite a simple premise, as this is. And it's been really successful, obviously, because it's just outright fun to play. So I think that's what they're going for here. The next PS4 game is Tearaway Unfolded. Now, we're not going to take a look at a trailer for this because most people will have seen some gameplay. It's the game that came out on Vita originally, and it was a lot of fun on Vita. But, the PS4 version is different. I think mostly because the control scheme, it's very much one of those games that tries to make the most of the particular intricacies of the controller, So on Vita, it had things such as the ability to touch the rear touchpad in some areas of the game, and it would look as though your finger was coming through the floor in the game. So there's all these little kind of quirky features, when it comes to the controls on the Vita itself. But the controls on the PS4, the controller, is quite different. It's got some similar features with the touchpad and everything, but they've redone the game to gear it towards the PS4 controller, the DualShock. So that's why the game is different, and that's why it takes quite a bit longer on the PS4. So on the Vita, I think it was around 15 hours, but now it's over 20. But it is nice and easy. It's given a 3 out of 10 in difficulty. I think the voting thread pretty much agrees with that. Maybe a 4 average, but it's a fun game. I enjoyed the Vita version. I've not actually tried the PS4 one yet. I have bought it, so unfortunately I don't get to benefit from the fact that it's free now, but I keep doing that, I think a lot of people do. They buy games and then it ends up dropping in price or becoming free or whatever. But this will definitely be a good choice for trophy hunters. It's a fun game. I mean, it's not like something that everyone's been desperately asking for. I think this month is a little bit underwhelming, a bit like last month. The games are good, but they've been around for a while, and they're games that are pretty cheap to buy anyway. But still, if you haven't bought it yet, it's definitely worth a try, I'd say. The PS3 games, we have pretty much both opposite ends of the scale when it comes to difficulty. This one here, Under Night in Birth, this is actually a game that I hadn't heard of before. It's given a 2 out of 10 on the difficulty rating on the actual guide itself. On the voting thread, it's a 3 out of 10 average. But it looks pretty straightforward. It's basically a very Japanese fighting game. And again, we're not going to bother with the trailer because you can pretty much picture, if you imagine a Japanese fighting game, this is what you'll imagine, basically. But it's around 25 hours according to the guide here. So this one looks very much like an easy platinum for the PS3. It might take you a bit of time. And on the opposite end of the scale, we've got Earth Defense Force 2025. This is literally like as easy as Under Night is. That's how difficult this is, basically. If we have a look at... No, not the timed platinum, sorry. I think it is a super long platinum as well. But the difficulty rating, pretty much unanimously a 10 out of 10. We got a few votes up and down the scale here. But this is one of the series that, there's quite a few Earth Defense Force games, and all of them tend to be really difficult. And it's got a very low completion rating, below 1% for the actual platinum on PSN profiles. So, this is a long-winded and very tough plat. But if you enjoy the series, I'm sure you've probably already picked it up, to be fair. Maybe you've played some of the other games from the series and this is one of the ones that you haven't bought yet, in which case, you'll probably enjoy it. But definitely not one for people looking for an easy plat. Next up, we've got Lumo, which kind of follows suit. We'll check out a trailer for this, because this is quite an interesting looking game. When you watch the trailer, it looks as though it's going to be maybe an easy game. But when you look at the actual difficulty ratings and the completion rating, you realise that this is actually among the hardest platinums on PS4. In fact, it's one of the hardest platinums ever by the looks of things. Looks kind of cute, the sort of game that you might think, oh, this could be straightforward. The levels don't look too complicated. But I think it's something to do with having to complete the game without dying or something along those lines. We'll take a look in a moment. I've got the trophies open on psnprofiles.com. They are, I believe, right here. In fact, what I've done is I've opened up the thread of all the rarest platinums on PS4. So these are PS4 platinums in order of rarity, and I've skipped over all of the 0% games, which is the first 2 pages basically, because obviously they're games that have just released or maybe haven't quite released yet, so no one's actually played them. Some of them are glitched or whatever. But when it comes to the plats that some people have actually played, some of these, over 100,000 people, 150,000 played NBA 2K16. Only 54 plat achievers. Anyway, Lumo is right here, look. Ultimate played the game. I'm not sure what that's meant to mean, but as you can see, it's 0.18%. Over 1,000 people have played it, and only 2 people have achieved the platinum. So if we put the trophies in order of rarity, we'll be able to see which trophies it is that makes it particularly difficult. In fact, if you look at this, there's no one trophy that's holding people back. It looks like almost all of them are super tough. In fact, we've got a few here that are obviously easy enough that most people have earned them, but pretty much half of the list is ultra rare, which is almost unheard of. So old school mode, I think that's the one where you can't die or something along those lines. But yeah, this is another one that's definitely not for trophy hunters unless you really relish a challenge. If you're looking for some easy plats, easy free games to get through, then this certainly isn't one of them. Severed, however, could well be. This is another game that I've not had time to try yet, and I don't think I've bought it, so I'm quite glad that it's been free, or that it's going to be free this month. March. What is it at the moment? Yeah, it is March. I was thinking, is it March yet? Yeah, so it's going to be free this month. The timing this month is a bit weird, as it was last month, where the first Tuesday of the month is on the 7th, and that means that the games aren't announced until the 1st, because they're sort of announced the Wednesday before. But as you can see, this is kind of an action-adventure type game, first person, but because it's on Vita, it's another title that's sort of making use of the Vita's features, all of the touch screen controls and everything. And from what I've seen, it looks like an easy plat. And we'll take a look at the guide in a moment. I think there's a guide for it. And the completion percentage is very, very high on PSN Profiles. Let's have a look. How long is this trailer? I think we pretty much get the idea, don't we, guys? It's nice to get a flavour of... Oh, okay, it's ending now anyway. There we go. So that's Severed. Now, if you look at the completion rating here, over 43% have earned the platinum. That's very, very high. And if we take a look at the completion times for them, it looks like, well, all of the top 50 times have been, 16 hours and under. A few people have done it in less than 10, as low as sort of 7 hours roughly. So it looks like a fairly quick one as well. I don't think there was a guide on PlayStationTrophies.org. But there have been a few votes. Obviously, people are picking it up for the easy plat. And as you can see here, there's not even any troll votes at 10 out of 10. The highest vote is 6, but you're always going to get some people who are less experienced with the genre that are going to vote a bit higher. But yeah, here we go. 3 out of 10 average difficulty. And the time requirement, let's take a look at that. See what people are saying. regarding this, yeah, we've got mostly 6 to 10 hours, a few over 10. That pretty much ties in with the completion time here on PSN profiles. So there you have it, guys. We've got 6 new games, 2 for each console. Disc Jam, we don't know the trophies for that game yet, but it looks fun. Tearaway Unfolded is an easy plat, but will take you 20 hours or more. And we have Under Night In Birth, a very easy PS3 plat, again around 20 or so hours. But then Earth Defense Force, very difficult and very long-winded. And again, we've got pretty much the same pattern on Vita, a very difficult plat and a very easy one. So at least we've got some easy ones here and some challenging ones to kind of keep everyone happy. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope that's been informative for you. Don't forget to check out the Trophy Hunters Hangout video, which is going to be uploaded tonight. It might even be on before this video, but either way, make sure to check it out. We're talking about my personal hardest platinums that I've ever earned, so that should be interesting. Thanks for all your support, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers.